everyone. Let me just get set up here. All right, I think this works. Just trying to make sure. We've got dogs in the outside. If you notice, I'm in a different room. If you guys don't know, I had to relocate. My husband works in a hospital, so he sent us away just so we don't contract the virus because he's likely exposed to it daily. So I'm with my mother-in-law. See, can you see inside the pot? Hey you guys, hey Gail. Hi. So I am in my mother-in-law's house. She graciously has taken us in and she is amazing. She just took my kids out for a drive. So I have a second to think and process, which is really nice. How are you guys holding up during all of this? Tell me something that you guys are doing to stay sane. It is absolutely unprecedented that we have to do something like this, and I just hope you guys are staying safe while you stay in. Let's see. Hi, Amanda. Let's see if I have a better place for my computer so I can read as I go. Oops, I turned on the oven. I don't think this will be a safe place for my computer. It's gonna get too hot. Okay, so I am gonna get started. I'm gonna try not to go over an hour today so my GoPro doesn't fail on me. And I'm sorry, I have none of my pastry equipment here, no baking equipment, my lights, so the lighting might be a little orangey, but we're gonna do it. Ooh, Erin said that to stay sane. She's learning sourdough. I wanted to restart my starter too, but I couldn't find bread flour, and it's just so much, so much work, you know? You have to keep feeding it and everything, and I just didn't start that now, but I'm loving everybody's bread posts and cinnamon rolls. Gail just posted cinnamon rolls. Hi, everyone. Erin, I hope you send some pictures of sourdough, and I'll live vicariously through you. Yes, baking is a huge one. Goodness. Complete newbie macarons are on my list. Oh, I hope I'm awful. So I'm awful at sounding things out. So as I read, very bad at pronouncing names. But let's see here. Mariella, I think. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Hi, my brother's here. Hi, Jay. I love baking. That's definitely my therapy as well. So I hope if you're trying out macarons for the first time, you go in it with the thought that you'll improve as you go and not like have the first one be perfect. And then it will help the mindset. Managing expectations. All right. Amanda said she's taking walks to stay sane. Trying to bake, yes. I feel like, so this is gonna be a little new series. It's gonna be like pastry basics, taking you back to like my pastry school roots, where we're gonna learn and build on our skills. So pastry cream is such a versatile and it's just used so much in pastry. Not only could it be just eaten like pudding, like a custard with some fresh fruit on top or something, you can use it as a base for so many things as well. So if you add Swiss meringue buttercream to it and do like 2/3 pastry cream, 1/3 buttercream, it gets a thicker consistency, which will be like German buttercream, and it's really good for your macarons. Straight pastry cream filling is a little too wet to put in max, you do not have like a good shelf life with that. A pastry cream in general is yolks and cream, or we're using milk. So you definitely don't want to put this in something that you're not going to eat within 3 to 4 days. That's the max shelf life of pastry cream. So yeah, I was excited you guys chose this because we can start building. If you know pastry cream, you can do a frangipan, which is in Petiviers or King's Cakes, which is the puff pastry, and then there's like that almond cream pastry cream mixture in the middle, and it's so good. I love things that aren't overly sweet, and this is the perfect mixture with like the salty puff pastry and the delicious creamy frangipan in the middle. Oh, so good. Let's see here. Lady Melissa's making bread too. Yes, exactly. We have to use up all of our egg yolks if we're mac makers. This is perfect. Pastry cream, you will use up those yolks. No waste these days, right? I mean, we shouldn't have waste in general, but it's easier to say, try to save now. I feel like with that an extra push of you're not finding eggs readily in the supermarket or flour. I can't find any flour. So let's see here. Anna, hi Anna. Anna, I am in my mother-in-law's house. We're up in Sonoma County. She took us in because my husband works in a hospital. So he is daily exposed to the virus, and he didn't want us to get it with everyone else. You know, the whole thing with staying at home is to slow down the spreading of it and not have everybody get it at once, because hospitals won't be able to care for everyone at one time. I mean, say what, 20% who get coronavirus or COVID-19 are going to get a bad case, only 20, but that 20 would be too many all at once. So we're trying to spread it. We're staying home. Enough about the virus. This is supposed to be our break from it. And then let's start actually making the pastry cream so I don't go over an hour today. All right. Melanie, yes, in a different kitchen. I have none of my tools. So usually let me go over what you want, what you need when you're making pastry cream. I would recommend a stainless steel pot, not an aluminum. It will turn your pastry cream gray. Not one of these that's coated. I don't know what they're coated with, but they're coated, and usually I would use a whisk, but you don't want to use metal inside one of these pans. So I'm going to attempt a spatula, and just, you want to move it quickly because we're cooking an egg custard on here, and you don't want scrambled eggs as a result. So a whisk is more efficient, but I'm going to do a spatula today. And then we have our yolks in here. We're going to be heating up milk in our saucepan, tempering it into our eggs, and then putting everything back into our pot and cooking it. And then we are going to strain it at the very end. So I've got my bowl here, a clean spatula, because as you see, you don't want to put one that touch the raw yolk into your final product. So we'll do that, and then we'll see if we want to flavor it. If you guys want lemon or just vanilla, let me know. My mother-in-law has a lemon tree out in the backyard, so they have tons of excess lemons that I want to use up. So if you want lemon, tell me, or we'll just make it vanilla. But we're prepared if we want. At the end, I can tell you all the variations of how to make different, like if you want a chocolate pastry cream or a coconut pastry cream or Nutella pastry cream, so good. Or like if you wanted to add a fruit puree into it, I'll tell you all those things. Let me know what you're interested in, and we'll see if I can figure out when you would put that in. All right, let's see here. Lonnie, hello. I feel like, hi Kate. All right, Miss Arno, hello. Mrs. Arno. I have a friend named Arno. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Okay, let's get started. We've got a cup of whole milk. We actually did not have whole milk in the house. So this is like a mixture of half and half and 2% milk to try to even out the fat and make sure it's about 1 cup of what a whole milk fat would be. So don't go out and buy whole milk if you don't have it at home. Just try, mix some cream with some 2%, whatever you guys have. It may just don't use skim milk for this. That's my only thing. So then we have 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar. I'm gonna put half of the sugar in with my cream or my milk, and then I'm going to put half of it in with my egg yolks. And let's see if I can start her stove. It always goes really, it goes really high. Okay, so we're just gonna bring it to a boil, and then we're going to temper it into there. But first I'm gonna add half so my milk doesn't scald. And then I'm gonna put my my sugar, my 3 tablespoons, so it's 1.5 tablespoons now, right? Because I did half in my milk. Then I'm gonna put cornstarch in with my sugar and mix it up, and then add it to my 3 egg yolks. So this is 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna do 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. This is gonna thicken it up, the mixture, and it's also gonna give it a starchy taste if you don't watch out. You have to cook the starch taste off, and I'll tell you how to do so. So this is half of a tablespoon, 1.5. Mix those up. Then you don't want to have granulated sugar just hanging out on your egg yolks. It's not good for it. You want to immediately whisk. So I'm going to pour in and whisk at the same time. They use the term like it cooks the egg yolks, but really it just dries them out. So whisk up your cornstarch, your half of sugar, which was the 3 tablespoons, and then your 3 egg yolks. Ooh, Amanda, a passion fruit would be really good. So if you're doing a passion fruit pastry cream, at the very end, when we add the vanilla extract, you could add, for this amount, this is a small batch of pastry cream, I would say using about a little less than a quarter. So even maybe like 3 tablespoons of pastry cream, of passion fruit puree. So you could find some puree or pulp, maybe a little bit of pulp. You just kind of have to play around with it. But this is a small batch, so for this amount, I would say less than a quarter of a cup of passion fruit pulp. That would be really good. Passion fruit's one of my favorites, especially with custard. Yum. All right, so we're going to make sure our sugar is dissolved in our milk and bring it to a boil, and then slowly pour it into our eggs. This is called tempering in your cream to the yolks. We don't want to put yolks directly in and into a hot milk, because it's going to cook them way too fast and get all curdly and gross. Let's see. Oh, Lonnie, my mother-in-law took my kids for a drive while I did this. Isn't that so sweet? It's actually so soothing to be able to take a breath without them fighting. I have a 5-year-old in 2 weeks and a 6-year-old, so they're constantly bickering. Okay, let's turn this baby up and get this boiling. And we will keep whisking. So after we pour and temper in our milk and half of the sugar mixture into here, we're going to pour it all back here, and that's when it's really important to keep stirring. In my case, I'll be using a spatula, but I would recommend, if you have a stainless steel saucepan pot, to use a whisk, just to make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom of the pan. it's not wanting to boil. And then at the very end, you want this to cool quickly. So I have plastic wrap, and I'm gonna lay out the pastry cream on here and refrigerate it for like 10 minutes so bacteria doesn't grow, and I have the most shelf life I can possibly have with my cream. You don't want to put it in a super narrow container, because then it's going to take that middle a really long time to cool down. So my cream is boiling. I'm going to pour about a third in while whisking. And we're just tempering in the cream. And then I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit, and I'm going to pour it all back in once I feel like it's well incorporated. So now I'm going to pour this all back in. This is I started whisking. I'm so used to whisking. I don't want the metal touching that whatever kind of coating this has. You know, you don't want metal on two coated pans like this, so gotta remember myself. Now, can you see in the pot? Let's see. I am going to be constantly whisking and cooking. It's gonna thicken up really nice. Then you want to boil it for about 2 minutes, 2 minutes to cook off the starch and to make sure you've cooked your eggs thoroughly. So I can feel it thickening up already. I'm just doing like a figure 8 motion with my spatula to make sure I'm getting all of it. And let's see. Lonnie, did you say you enjoyed the kids in the live stream? So my mother-in-law did say that this burner is like an off or on kind of situation, so I might need to turn it up. But then it seems too high with the custard, so we'll see. So at the very end, after I cook this, I am going to be straining it. That's why I have this fine mesh strainer right there. And for that reason, it's going to get all the little bits out if they overcook or any lumps out. So I'm not loving the spatula situation, y'all. But just keep moving, and we're gonna boil off that starch after we get it all together. So if you can see, it's getting thicker. It's also looking very chunky. So I'm going to make sure I smooth that out. Okay, so now it's thick. Now I just want to, has little bubbles, and I'm going to make sure I boil this off for about 1 to 2 minutes. This is a smaller batch size, so I think 1 minute will be fine. But you can always taste it and see if you still taste the starch taste. This would be so good, like just put into tart shells and bananas for banana cream pie and whipped cream, or whatever fruit you have laying around the house, mixing it with that as a pudding, in trifles. If you have cake scraps, and just mix it with this and something crunchy or fruit. Of course, eclairs. This is the filling that bakeries will use for eclairs. You can mix it with whipped cream and do like a creme légère. It's so versatile, and it's just a basic for pastry. So it's fun to have this in your repertoire of recipes. How many people make this? A lot. Do you guys make this already? Yeah, Lonnie. I mean, Isla steals the show. My daughter steals the show whenever, right? So I get it. Am I not entertaining enough for you? Totally joking. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to stop the cooking and put it through my strainer. See how thick it is though? You will know, like it thickens up and you want it to bubble. Take out that starch and then we're going to cool it down quickly. So in my bowl, clean bowl, clean spat. I'm putting it through my sieve. And this is where you would add your flavors. I also did a pinch of salt in there. I forgot to say that with my sugar. I always like adding salt to my desserts. It's just so, it's never in my recipes and I just add it to everything so I forget. But, can you guys see that? Yeah. Just push it through. It might take a little bit. But this will get it so silky smooth. And then we'll add our flavoring. So who wants lemon? Who wants just vanilla? I will put a teaspoon of vanilla in just because it's a base for my pastry cream. Unless I was doing chocolate, I would always put vanilla in. Yes, Anna, this would be so good in your choux paste, in your puff pastry or little puffs. If I can talk, guys. And then get all that on the bottom. Don't want to waste it. All right, see how thick it is? It's so thick and it hasn't even cooled yet. So we are going to put a teaspoon lemon. Okay, guys, we're doing lemon. We'll do a little bit less than a teaspoon though. A little bit of vanilla just to brighten everything. And then we'll squeeze a lemon in too. See how easy this is? What do you guys think? Will you do this? And squeeze some lemon. Where are her knives? Found it. Just like maybe a quarter of a lemon for this small batch. You don't want to put the lemon in with the milk, or you don't want to really cook your flavors out. So put it in at the end. And of course, lemon is too acidic. It would curdle your milk if you did this in the beginning. So that's why we do it at the end. Now, like I said, I'm going to put on our pan, our sheet pan, and cool this really rapidly by putting it in the fridge at a really thin layer so no bacteria grows. If you didn't want to do this, you can put it in an ice bath right after, get a bigger bowl, put ice and water in it, and then this bowl inside that bowl and cool it down fast that way. But I just like this. Always want to wrap directly on the surface so it doesn't develop a skin. When you're ready to use this, you want to re-whisk it because it will get really gelatinous as it cools. But don't worry, that's how it normally happens. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. Just re-whisk with a clean whisk and it will turn creamy again and delicious. And let's talk more about this. Let me put it in the fridge. All right, guys, so with pastry cream, you do not want to freeze it. In pastry school, we would do like a blast chiller really fast if we needed to get going with the production with whatever like we were doing, but it's only for cool down. You do not want to freeze the pastry cream. It will leach out the liquid and it will separate, and it is no bueno. So I don't recommend freezing. The shelf life is only 3 to 4 days. So if you're making a cake for someone, you can't make it in advance. Like you can make it a day in advance, but if you plan to have your cake sitting around for a couple days because you don't finish it all the time in the first day, you want to make it as fresh as possible. Let's see here. Yeah, Melanie. So lemon juice will not curdle it at the end, but it would definitely curdle if you put it into your milk right away in the beginning stages. So, would a freezer for rapid cooling? Amanda, yes, you can freeze it, but I don't like to cool it rapidly, but I don't recommend forgetting it. We'd always like set a timer and then end up still forgetting it, and you don't want botched pastry cream. So set a timer, only do it for about 8 minutes in your freezer, and then hopefully that will help cool it rapidly. But don't forget about it. Don't forget about your pastry cream. All right, so we did, can't wait. I've made homemade. So Melissa said she has amazing, oh yeah. Yellow cake with the extra yolks is a great way if you're a macaron maker and you're trying to figure out how to not waste your yolks right now. A yellow cake would be a great idea, Melissa. Thank you. That sounds so good. A Boston cream pie cake. All right. Anyone have other questions regarding the actual making of the pastry cream? And then I'll go through some tips on if you want. Let's see. I wrote down some things. I'll write the recipe in the description of the live afterwards too, so you can come back to it and see. Let's see here. My key points that I had said that I'd written down just to emphasize to you guys is that you want to always whisk that pastry cream. You don't want to get clumpy. The spatula worked. I would prefer a whisk though. So if you don't have a stainless steel pot, do not go buy one. You can definitely make do like I did. It's just it feels a lot better for me when I'm whisking because I feel like I'm getting everywhere than with the spat. Okay, you don't want to cook too fast. You don't want a really eggy taste in your custard, so make sure it cooks, comes together slowly, and that will help the taste. And then make sure to boil off that starch taste. So that's going to be about 1 minute with 1 to 2 minutes with our batch size. Let's see. A guava preserve recipe. Ooh, I have never worked with fresh guava. I have done like a guava gelée, however you want to say it, by just doing guava pulp. You can get that at the supermarket. I forget the brand name of it, but it started with a G. I think it's like a GOYA is the brand of the guava pulp, and then putting some gelatin in, but I don't know preserves. I'd have to look. Okay, for the filling, like to add it to your pastry cream, I would just do about, for this size batch, if you were gonna do some guava pulp in it, the same with the passion fruit, just doing about a little bit less than 1/4 cup. So maybe, or if it was puree, less than 1/4 cup. If it's pure juice, it might be a little, you might only be able to get like a tablespoon in without getting it too liquidy, but it's something you'd have to play around with. But I would try if it's more of a puree, if a paste like you said, then maybe like a tablespoon or 2. Hi Helen, how are you holding up? Let's see here. Pulp, where the grocery store. So the guava pulp and passion fruit pulp, what I found it is in the aisles with like soda and sparkling water. Chocolate pastry cream, Erin. So Erin asked about what would you do for chocolate pastry cream, and that there's 2 different ways to do that. can either add some chocolate at the end, some chocolate chips, or I like bittersweet chocolate. If you want to help it along, you could melt it in advance and then put it in at the very end when we put in our lemon juice. Or you could just plop it into your pot at the very end of the cooking process too and melt it on the stovetop. But it kind of helps to just already have it melted. It's faster. And then you don't overcook your custard in case. But you could do the chocolate chips at the end, or I've seen recipes that do cocoa powder with your sugar and cornstarch. I think I would prefer the bittersweet chocolate, the richness that real chocolate gives. But cocoa powder always surprises me. It has a really good flavor, and I love frosting with just cocoa powder. So you could do either. Let's see if I wrote down how much you could put in. I did some variations, but with Nutella and all those things, I just put a few tablespoons in. With chocolate, maybe, I don't have a scale so here, so that's why I didn't even do this in scales. In grams, I just did it in cups. I was interested in if you guys like that, or if you prefer grams, just for future while I'm here, if I should look at the conversions so I can give you straight gram recipes. Goya, yeah, Anna, that's right. Like I said, I'm very bad at pronouncing things. I have a processing disorder and I cannot phonetically sound words out. So if I don't already know it from my memory, I can't sound things out. So I apologize. Hi Mo. Let's see here. So I was talking about chocolate pastry cream, sorry. I would put in maybe like a little bit melted, probably like 1 ounce, and see how that works for this size batch. 1 ounce of it, that's 56 grams, I believe. That might be wrong. I could double check. That seems too high. 1 ounce, 1 ounce equivalent in grams. Let's see, 28 grams of chocolate for this size batch. And then you can obviously try a little bit more, but don't go too big. It's always better to put in a little bit, and then if it's not as flavorful enough and you feel like for a more liquidy substance, if you don't feel like it's separating, just add some more and keep kind of at it. I prefer to stay away from extracts. I don't love the fake taste or the alcohol taste of extracts besides like a pure vanilla for some reason. I think it's just I have a hard time. Like even with the strawberry marshmallow buttercream, I always feel like I overdo it because I still taste that alcohol-y taste and fake strawberry. So I prefer to do real flavors like the freeze-dried strawberries. And that being said, I wouldn't add like a lemon extract or coconut extract. Instead, try to infuse the real things into it. So if you wanted a coconut pastry cream, use coconut cream or coconut milk from a can. What else? Love scales and grams. Amanda, okay. I wonder if my mother-in-law has one. I'll have to look, especially if I'm making macs later. I want to do some macarons while I'm here. She has a convection oven, so I'll do a video sometime this week, hopefully, on testing out convection ovens, since I have no experience since pastry school with those, and home convection's so different from commercial quality convection. So I want to get out a video using a convection oven, and I have no piping bags, no nothing. So it'll be a minimal supplies baking vlog coming at you guys soon. Okay, thank you guys for your input. You guys have any other questions for me? This pastry cream was a lot faster than when I make you guys watch the whole process of macs. Let's see. Don't freeze. Yeah, I talked about shelf life. Oh, Lori, yes, I'm excited. for the convection. I'm also really nervous, but when I saw that she had a fan option, I was like, we have to try this because I want firsthand experience to be able to help. Brittany, hi Brittany. Oh, of course, I'm always here for helping with procrastination. All right, you guys. Is there a dairy-free version of pastry cream? For sure. You know what? And you can also add butter to this to make it even more rich and creamy, but I did not today. If you wanted to add butter to it, for this recipe, dogs want to come in. For this recipe, it would be a tablespoon, about a tablespoon and 2 tablespoons in this recipe. Let me try to get it out. And for a dairy-free version, you could do coconut milk. And then when you say dairy-free, do you also mean egg-free? That's told it was 30% faster. That's interesting. Lori said that she was told that convection ovens at home cook about 30% faster with the fan and airflow increased. So, okay, you can use eggs. I will definitely have to be careful when I make my max and check the timer. Thank you for that information. So for Amanda, then you can use coconut cream or coconut milk. And then if you wanted to add a butter to it, you could add a vegan butter or something, or coconut oil. That might leach out. But definitely just switching the milk out for a non-dairy substitute would work. Just make sure it's fatty. Anna, you're so funny. Angel of macarons. Oh no. Lady, I'm so sorry. I know we've had lots of people around us losing jobs, and it's just a hard time. So prayers out to you. I hope this is actually a door opening to something really new and amazing for you. If not, I hope our government really is able to help out those with all the unemployment that is surely all around us right now because of this crazy stuff. All right, I think I answered all of you guys' questions. Let's see here. This was the highlight of my day, you guys. I got ready. I have not been ready for a very long time. Well, by ready, I put my spandex jeans on. So that for me was a win today. So thank you for pulling me out of my hibernation as well. It really helps me to converse with y'all, and I appreciate your interaction. If you guys have any further questions, you can add them to the comments below. You can always message me on Instagram. I am here for it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Much love to you all, and stay safe. I really, really appreciate you guys. And I hope this was a fun break. And I hope you guys make some pastry cream, some tarts, some fruit tarts, some eclairs. Oh my gosh, I want some eclairs now. Much love to you guys. Thank you, Lonnie. Mwah. Have a great day. And my live is under an hour, so that's a bonus for us. Anna, thank you so much for tuning in. Honestly, I very much appreciate it, and I enjoyed having conversations with you guys. I hope you guys have awesome days. I hope this was a good start to our week, and that we can power through together. Power through. I need some music. Okay, Google, play some music.
All right, music on Google Play Music. Here you go.
This is not my kind of music, but you guys can all have a dance party with me if you'd like. You guys stay healthy too. Peace out, y'all. I don't know how to stop it. don't know what kind of music this is. Oh gosh. Bye guys.